Thank you, Mr. Barnes.
All right, Mr. Barnes, I'm seeing you this evening on a couple of different matters. You're charged with an aggravated DUI and refusing to provide your truthful name. Those are allegations from May 11th of 2025. And then you're charged with a new misdemeanor shoplifting. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. On the felony, you have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. I understand you're also being held on a probation. Not seeing you on that. You'll be seen separately in Superior Court on that, but you are being held without bond on that. I've reviewed all the information, and the state is recommending a $25,000 bond on the new felony plus pretrial services. I'll hear from defense.
Judge, we'd be asking for a much lower bond. Originally, this charge was cited and released. So the only difference in facts is now he had a suspended license at the time, allegedly. So I don't believe a $25,000 bond is warranted given those facts. He is already being detained without bond and has a $2,500 bond on the other case. So we'd be asking for a $5,000 bond.
We're going to read the section. Hold on. Tell me his birth.
I didn't want to.
All right, I'll order a $5,000 bond, cash or secured, released to pretrial if that bond is posted. Monitoring or treatment is directed by pretrial. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not drive without a valid driver's license. And preliminary hearing date is scheduled for June 23rd. All right, and then on this misdemeanor shoplift, I'll order release on that, but note that he's going to be in custody on the other matters. And we'll set a hearing in Pima County Justice Court on June 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. They'll take you to a video hearing if you're still in custody. If you were out of custody by that date, you would need to get to Justice Court.
Okay.
Sir, that's all. You're excused.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Full name?
Cubis.
Cubis, I'm seeing you this evening on a charge of assault. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I know that you're in custody on a probation violation. You're being held without bond on that. I'm not seeing you on that. You'll be seen separately in Superior Court for that. But since you're being held on that, I'm going to release you on this one. And we'll set your hearing for June 23rd at 8:30 in the morning in Pima County Justice Court. If you are in custody, they will take you to a video hearing. If you get out of custody by that date, you need to get to that hearing or a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, I fully understand. But what's the date again?
June 23rd. You'll get paperwork with that.
Okay.
Okay.
But it was self-defense. She kicked me in the face.
You'll talk to the judge about that when you go see them on the 23rd.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Are you guys gonna give me paper? So I'm gonna forget. You'll get a paper later on. Later? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
It's Jane Doe.
What's your actual name?
I- may I please tell you that I use the name only because there's a person in town who runs a brothel, and she has hired three lookalikes, three doubles of me. And the woman owes me money, a substantial amount. And what she is doing is she's hiring doubles to have me in here, for example, so that they can continue, and also identity theft. And also they continue to commit their crimes all over town, so that I end up places like this. And so there are reasons why, and moreover, I'm undergoing a job search. So I wish to.
Can somebody at the jail tell me if, have you gotten her name? Have her fingerprints been run?
Ma'am, that's a reason I have that.
I know I need to talk to the jail.
Your Honor, we tried to get her fingerprints. We haven't gotten it.
Sorry, I couldn't understand you. You said you tried to get them, but what?
There's no matches on them, Your Honor.
Ma'am, I
Okay.
need to, ma'am, that is the name only because I'm undergoing a job.
Hold on. You can unmute her. So,
A police that
ma'am,
transported.
just hold on.
Don't stare at me.
Judge, may I provide some input?
Yes, please.
I don't usually get involved in the misdemeanors, let alone the city court misdemeanors.
Yeah,
but
I appreciate it because I'm struggling with this one for a couple different
Yeah.
reasons, but why don't you tell me what? Go ahead.
Me too. This is my third session in a row. We've seen this woman all three sessions. We're getting nowhere with the name. I'm wondering if the court has the ability to appoint her an attorney and maybe somebody could go out and visit her and explore potential Rule 11. I know the name is what we need to get started in anything, but maybe an attorney could go meet with her.
So hold on, ma'am. Let me just talk to the prosecutor really quick. So Mr. Gant, I don't think you probably haven't seen the ticket. And the reason why I'm really struggling with it is that, well, one, now her fingerprints have been run and there were no hits. So that says to me that at the very least, it looks like she doesn't have any outstanding warrants. And then two, the facts here are that she was alleged to be trespassing on Suntran property, but there's no indication that she was, well, it says she was refusing to leave. When the police got there, she said that she was not going to identify herself, but she would leave. And so she was willing to leave at that point. They then said that they needed her name. She gave a name that came back as negative. I don't know. To me, that means that she gave a name and birthday that came back that potentially it didn't have any warrants either.
Ma'am, I always wanted to leave, but they didn't let me.
Hold on, ma'am.
Okay.
So
Judge, it's a little bit of an awkward position for me because I don't represent the city. I'm not going to object if the court wants to dismiss the citation, and they can make a decision if they want a long form her in. Obviously, the jail has her prints now. What's the charge? Third-degree criminal trespass?
it's not even that. They didn't even charge her with trespass. They just charged her with obstruction for refusing to give her truthful name, which I'm not
Yeah.
totally certain that she did.
Under
So,
the circumstances, Judge, then I would just move to dismiss it without prejudice. That way we can let it go.
thank you, I appreciate it. All right, so I am gonna dismiss this charge without prejudice.
Thank you.
One second, hold on. I'm gonna order that she be released.
Thank you so much. Please, may I also request, I always wanted to leave. It was my idea to leave, and they obstructed me with their body and said,
All right, ma'am, I'm ordering that you be released today and the charge will be dismissed without prejudice. I-
it can be shredded. Be shredded with all copies that may or may not be there. Can it be shredded?
No, I can't do that. All right, but you're gonna be released, so. That's
Well,
all, that's all, ma'am. That's all, ma'am.
Am I-
You're excused. We're done.
May I see the attorney just for one more question?
No,
I have-
that's a prosecutor. He doesn't represent you, and that's gonna be the end. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Jeffrey Edward Connelly.
Mr. Connelly, I'm seeing you this evening because you have a warrant for your arrest for charges of theft by control, criminal damage, and criminal trespass. Those are alleged to have occurred on October 6th of 2021. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So, sir, it looks like that's all I'm seeing you on. Did you know that you had this case from 2021 that was in warrant status?
I knew I had warrants. I wasn't sure what exactly the situation was. I've been trying to start with the community court stuff, but I'm in the middle of getting housing right now. So I actually missed an appointment for housing today because of being here.
I'm going to order that you be held on a $250 cash or secured bond, and you're going to be seen tomorrow morning on this at 1 o'clock, or sorry, tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Justice Court. If you were to post your bond, you would need to get to Justice Court tomorrow at 1, or another warrant's going to issue for your arrest. I am going to appoint Robin Ald to represent you in Justice Court. All right, sir, that is all. You're excused. Oh, wait, I need Mr. Connelly back.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I thought I was missing something there. You've also got warrants out of Tucson City Court. So those warrants go back to 2019 through the most recent being April 4th of 2025. And it looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different cases that are all in warrant status. Most of them are for criminal trespass. There's also charges of drug paraphernalia and one shoplifting charge. All right, on those matters, I'm going to order that you be held on a $2,500 cash or secured bond. Order that you not return to any of the incident locations. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. You'll have a hearing on June 16th at 1:45 in the afternoon.
Ma'am.
That will be with Judge Blue in Tucson City Court. If you were to post your bonds, you would need to get to that hearing. Yes, sir.
The other stuff that you said first, I don't think those are actually warrants. I went to court.
All right, well, you'll go to Justice Court tomorrow and talk to the judge about that.
Okay, are those felonies?
Nope, they're all misdemeanors.
Okay.
All right. All right, your excuse, sir.
Oh, we're gonna sit.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Isaac Joseph Cortez.
Mr. Cortez, I'm seeing you this evening on charges of domestic violence, threats and intimidation, and interference with a emergency transmission. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Give me just a moment to look over your paperwork.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The question: are any of those felonies, or are they all misdemeanor?
Those are misdemeanors.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, if I have a chance, am I allowed to speak quick?
What do you want to tell me?
That the interference of the phone call was a total misunderstanding. I didn't
So
know.
I don't want you to talk about the fact. You're going to get a chance to talk to the judge about that at a later date. But for today, I just need to determine release conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
So pretrial services was not able to get in contact with the alleged victim, your sister. So I don't know what her position is. Were you living with her
Yes, ma'am.
at your mom's house?
Yes, ma'am. That's my assigned house. That's my assigned house because I'm physically and mentally disabled right now. She's my assigned caregiver or guardian or like, you know, my mother is. We just got a kid. I'll come over. If it's a problem, if it's a problem showing up to my mother's house, I might be able to show up to my father's house. You know, so that my father can pick me up later on when I get released, or if that's possible. You know.
Yeah, your mother did speak with pretrial. She said that you can use her address for mailing purposes. So it sounds like you cannot go back there.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
But you've got a father that lives here in town that you can stay with?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And will you stay away from your sister and not contact her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I am ordering that you not have any contact at this time with your sister. Don't go back to her residence. Don't contact her on the phone. Don't email, text, social media, ask anybody else to get in contact with her. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understand.
I'm also ordering, sir, that you commit no acts of domestic violence, and I don't want you to possess any firearms or weapons. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got you.
I am going to put in my order that you could return one time with the law enforcement escort so that you can collect your personal belongings. So you, what's that?
That's what I'm asking
Okay.
now. See if I can go show or something, some law enforcement, get all my stuff out, you know?
Yep. So you would take my court order to the nearest police station and ask them to go with you to get your things, okay? And then you need to be in Pima County Justice Court on June 23rd at 10:30 in the morning, or a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understand.
All right, you're excused.
Yes, thank you. You have a good one.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Kyle Durban.
Mr. Durban, I'm seeing you this evening because you have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court for charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and preventing the use of a telephone in an emergency. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Those are allegations from 2020. Did you know that those?
Yeah, I've actually been incarcerated in the Arizona Department of Corrections since 2020. I got released today,
Okay.
so I was not able to make it to court. You know what I mean?
So they asked, the judges over at Justice Court asked that I hold you, but that you'll have a hearing tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning, to deal with this. All right. So I'm going to order that you be held on a, $2,500 cash or secured bond. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. That'll be Anna Dennis. And you'll see the judge tomorrow morning at 11. All right.
All right.
Okay. You're excused. Sir, can I get your full name?
Brandon Romo.
Mr. Romo, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got warrants out of both Justice Court and Tucson City Court. The warrants out of Justice Court are for 2019 DUI, marijuana and drug paraphernalia charges, and then drug paraphernalia and criminal trespass from 2022, August of 2022, and then false reporting to law enforcement, drug paraphernalia, and public nuisance from November of 2022. And then your warrants out of Tucson City Court are for drug paraphernalia from 2023 and shoplifting from 2024. All right, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. All right, on the Justice Court matters. Do you want me to appoint Robin Ald on these?
Hey,
All right, so on your Justice Court matters, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. It'll be Robin Ald. I'm going to order that you be held on $500 bonds on each of those Justice Court matters. Those will be cash or secured bonds. Yeah, so I'm relieving Brad Roach from representing you. He previously represented you, and I'm appointing Robin Ald. You are going to be seen tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Justice Court. If you were to post your bonds, you would need to get to that hearing or warrants will issue for your arrest. And then give me just a second and I'll get to your city court matters.
Watch straight down.
All right, on city court warrant, I'm gonna order another $500 bond, cash or secured. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. Your hearing there will be with Judge Hale on June 20th at 1:45. That's if you're in custody. If you were to post your bonds, would need to get to Tucson City Court on July 10th at 2:00. Agreed, sir? Counsel, you're excused. Hi, ma'am, can I get your full name?
Peggy Jean Bradinski.
Mr. Or Miss Bradinski, I am seeing you this evening on a charge of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I am going to enter a plea of not guilty for you and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So, ma'am, I'm inclined to release you, but pretrial services was not able to get in contact with the alleged victim. Just like was your roommate, Michael. So I don't know what his position is. Are you living at his residence?
Staying in my motorhome on his residence, and I would go to inside to take showers and stuff. So all my clothing and things are in there, my purse and everything. My
Okay.
puppy.
So here's what we'll do. I'm not going to make an order that you not have contact with him. But if you were to go and he doesn't want you to be there, you need to immediately leave. I'm going to mark on the order that you could return one time with a law enforcement escort so that you can go get your personal belongings. So if you get there and he says no, then you'll leave, take my order to the nearest police station, and they'll go with you to get your things. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. And then, so I'm releasing you on your promise to appear in court, ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence. And your next hearing will be in Tucson City Court on July 11th at 9:30 in the morning. You have to get to that hearing so that a warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're excused.
Now, where do I go?
Interpreter, Medí Spanish and use.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good night. Interpreter is disconnecting.
Hello.
You get your full name?
Sean Kiko Chapman.
Mr. Chapman, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You have a new felony charge of aggravated assault, and then you've got some warrants out of Tucson City Court. We'll get to those next. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. On the felony, I will appoint the legal defender's office to represent you. And you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. I've reviewed all of the information, including the state's recommendation of a $25,000 bond for pretrial services. I'll hear from defense.
Judge, I don't believe the bond needs to be that high. It looks like he only has one felony prior from 2020, which is nonviolent. He is verified to have lived in Tucson for 23 years. At this time, he is not working, so we'd ask you can consider his financial situation when issuing your bond amount.
I'll order a $10,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted, monitoring or treatment as directed. No firearms or weapons, no contact of any kind with the alleged victim. Do not return to the incident location. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for June 23rd. And then on the city court warrants, it looks like there are 5 of them, 6 of them from all from 2023 that involve criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, assault, shoplifting, 2 counts. On those matters, I'm going to order a $1,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured. I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. You have a hearing in city court on June 20th at 1:45. That'll be by video. If you happen to be out of custody, then you would need to get to Tucson City Court on July 28th at 9 o'clock in the morning. All right, sir, that is all. You're excused.
Oh,
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Rebecca Marie Cordell.
Ms. Cordell, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court for dangerous drug charge and drug paraphernalia from December 19th of 2024. And then you've got 12 warrants out of Tucson City Court for cases that are all in warrant status, charges ranging from the years of 2023 through this year. And they involve criminal trespass, shoplifting, drug paraphernalia, interfering with judicial proceedings, etc. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney on the felony. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. So counsel, I understand that she was on pretrial, didn't stay in touch with them, got sent to supervening indictment, didn't get to her, she didn't get to arraignment, warrant issued. They're recommending pretrial services, but I'm going to hold her on a $1,500 bond on the city court cases. So would you prefer that I hold her on a $250 bond?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So on the felony, I'm going to order that you be held on a $250 cash or secured bond. You'll be released to pretrial services if that bond is posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. You're going to go to Superior Court for your arraignment on this case in a week. That's on June 18th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And again, public defender is appointed in that one. And then on your Tucson City Court warrants, I'm ordering a $1,500 cash or secured bond. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. Your hearing there will be on June 20th at 1:45 in the afternoon. That'll be by video. If you were to post your bond, you would need to get to Tucson City Court on July 28th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You understand, ma'am? All right, you're excused. You want me to write it? Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Hold on.
Ma'am, can I get your full name, please?
Abigail Rose Delagana.
Ms. Delagana, I'm seeing you this evening on charges of shoplifting, 2 counts of organized retail theft, possession of a dangerous drug, possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you. The state is recommending that you be released to pretrial services supervision, so that's what I'm going to order. You need to check in with them when you get out. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them. No alcohol or illegal drugs. And do not return to any of the incident locations, which I believe were Kohl's and Dollar Tree. And then preliminary hearing date is scheduled for July 1st. But ma'am, that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You're going to get a hearing at a later date. So it's really important that you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so you know when to get to court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Roman Leonel Ochoa.
Mr. Ochoa, I'm seeing you this evening on charges of aggravated harassment and first-degree trespassing. Those are domestic violence offenses. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. I reviewed all of the information, including the state's recommendation of a $10,000 bond with pretrial services, and I do see a Form 4C that shows a high risk to this victim. Great. I'll hear from defense.
Judge, we're asking for a slightly lower bond, 7,500. He claims to have housing and employment. It looks like his last felony prior is from 2015. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag and a 3 on both the scales, so we're asking for the 7,500.
I'm going to order a $10,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial services if that bond is posted. Monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. No acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no contact of any kind with the alleged victims. Do not return to their residence or contact them on the phone or any other form of contact. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for June 23rd, but sir, that hearing is very likely not happening on that date. So if you do post your bond, it's really important that you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so you know when to get to court. You understand? All right, you're excused.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Yes, I'm David Alexander Medellin.
Mr. Medellin, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You have some new felony charges of possession of a narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a dangerous drug. You also have a new misdemeanor charge of criminal trespass, as well as about 13 warrants for failures to appear at city court hearings.
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you on the felony and the city public defender's office to represent you on the misdemeanor. As to the new misdemeanor charge, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So I am going to order that you be held on a $1,500 cash or secured bond on the city court matters. I'll appoint the city public to represent you. You're going to have a hearing on June 20th at 1:45. That'll be by video. If you were out of custody, you would need to get to Tucson City Court on July 8th at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so, counsel, I'm going to hold him on a $250 bond on the felony charges. All right. So, $250 cash or secured bond on the felony. and released to pretrial if posted, monitoring or treatment, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And we'll set a steps hearing for June 18th at 9 o'clock, and preliminary hearing will be on June 23rd. All right, sir, that is all. You're excused.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Right.
Have a good night. Thanks.
Welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick, we'll make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth. Get a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom. There's some oil we can use. Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose. But our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the problem? Your depressed society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married to a lady who also don't have a clue. And pump out a few babies that are just the same as you. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, baby girl. I'll paint you pink if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play. We divided out of men by trying politics and race, and honestly, it's working awesome, so for you, we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate. Objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape. And weaponize the differences that make our men and women great. And just to screw with you, erase the genders. Everyone's the same. We'll empower you with rights to vote and fight for equal pay. Then have the men turn into women and you'll fight for them again. But you thought you had it figured out, but everything has changed. Welcome to the system, bitch. Please enjoy your stay. Here's a Bible and a bottle of the cheapest booze we make. Find a man who can take care of you to fill the holes we made. Buy a house and settle down, fulfill your duty, procreate, and make a couple babies who will also do the same. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates